Welcome back to another episode of The Real Deal, and coming at you today with the straight truth about the Charlie Kirk assassination. We all know what happened to Mr. Kirk on September 10th. He was assassinated in front of his friends, his family, his 2 children, his wife, and thousands of people who came out to the campus in Utah, in Provo, to see him. Maybe some came to argue, some came to support him. I don't know if you've ever seen his videos in the past of some of the things he'd done. You would get some really crazy psychopaths there. A guy in a dress and still wearing men's clothes. And you'd get people showing up dressed up like a demon and things like that. But then you'd get other people out there supporting him. And some of the people would come up with legitimate debates for him. And he did a good job. Instead of just cutting them down and saying, you're stupid, you're a hoe, whatever. He did a good job on debating. And he was very intelligent. He reminded me of Ben Shapiro. Very intelligent, very good with his brain, fast on his feet. And that's a good thing. And a lot of people get intimidated and scared by that. But they caught a guy on day one, an older guy, and he says, I did it. I'll do it again. Then they found out he didn't do it. And when I heard that, I thought to myself, this is a conspiracy right away. That was a distraction. They did that on purpose to slow the investigators down. They caught another guy, same thing. And then finally they caught this other guy, Tyler Robinson. Kind of lives in the local area. Not much is known about him. He doesn't have a criminal history. 22 years old. We saw a video of somebody that looked like him walking up these stairs, and then you could see on the roof that somebody was up there, and they got away and they found a 30-06 in the woods. This is what we're being told, people. I don't know, because it wouldn't be the first time we've been lied to by the powers that be, the government, and a lot of other forces in charge. They might not even know who it is, and they might be pitting it on this guy. Who knows? We have to wait and see. As of right now, he is in custody, in jail. And I don't think he's with G-Pop, because that'd be dumb. General population. He's probably locked down in his cell. They say he's on suicide watch. And like I said, there's not a lot known about this guy. They said, the past recently few months he's gotten more political. And he spoke out with his family about Charlie Kirk coming there. And he had some angry issues. He didn't like Charlie Kirk, things like that. But they said his family's Republican. They said he's registered to vote, but he doesn't have a party affiliation. But in most states, to register to vote, you have to put one down. I'm not a Republican. I'm middle of the road. But I do put down Republican so I can go vote in the Republican elections. And they probably had to do that out there. They're just downplaying it. The media tried to jump all over it, but they didn't have anything. They couldn't find much about this guy. Where'd he come from? Why did he do it? And they started posting about he has a trans boyfriend, girlfriend. And a lot of the media was jumping all over that. Very coincidental with that. At the time Kirk was shot, that was what he was discussing with somebody in a debate and talking about shootings and trans mass shootings. And they're saying he has a trans boyfriend, girlfriend. And so if you look it up, if you actually read the articles they write, they put that in the headline. And that's what most people read nowadays anyways, the headline. They don't research anything. You can read the article and take your 5 minutes. You'll be like, oh, okay, well, they lured you in with that. They said in all these articles, if you read it, that they're not sure he's trans or not. It's speculated that he is. There's no proof to it. And then if you read more, he was sharing an apartment with 3 guys. It's $1,800 a month apartment rent out there. So I totally understand why he's doing that, to save some money. This person was one of the guys. So was it his girlfriend, boyfriend, just a friend? We don't know. Nobody's saying. But they put that in the headlines. People read it right away. to get them disgusted. Just like on social media. Somebody makes a post, they put it on there, and people say, I saw this. And it's like, okay, did you bother to read it or research it? Do you know your history? Then if you don't know what you're talking about, please shut up. So they don't know if this person's trans or not. They interviewed some of this guy's family members, and they said, is he trans? And they said, not that I know of. If he was, it wouldn't shock me, but I've never known him to be. There you go, people. And what the heck does that have to do with the murder? Who cares? What, are you going to interview and say, well, he had a woman living with him with 44 double D breasts. He was probably blinded by her boobs and couldn't see very well. That's why he did it. I mean, where do you come up with this stuff, people? Here's what I want to know. We'll never find out the total truth. I'll tell you that right now. But Tyler's in custody. Ask him, why did you do it? What drove you to do it? How did you get up them stairs in that locked building? How did you get in there? Who helped you? How did you get on the roof? Who protected you? Where did you get the gun? Did you act alone? Ask the questions. Let the police get in on this and ask the questions. They will find out. And they say right now he's not communicating with them. He's not helping at all. Okay, well, of course he's not. Of course he's not going to tell them. You know, he's hiding. He's hiding something. This shot was perfect. This punk looks like he's never shot a gun in his life. It's a 30-06. How did he get it up there? Did he dismantle the gun? Get up there and put it all together? They said he wrote anti-fascist messages on the bullets. How do we know it's him, people? How do we know that he wasn't put up to it? How do we know? And I know you guys are probably like rolling your eyes at me, but you ever remember RFK, Bobby Kennedy, when he got shot by Sirhan Sirhan? Sirhan, to this day, says he never pulled the trigger. He didn't kill him. He had nothing to do with it. He doesn't remember everything or anything at all. Doesn't know anything. And, you know, our government's been proven time and time again through MKUltra and other mind-washing, brainwashing programs. They can brainwash people into doing a lot of things. So maybe this Tyler is just a patsy. Just like Lee Harvey Oswald said, I'm just a patsy. And I believe them. I believe Sirhan did not pull the trigger that day on RFK. We don't know. We have to wait and see what's going on with this guy. He's not cooperating. But investigators have talked to a lot of the family members around there. Said the family was fine. Nothing wrong with the family. You know, they said he was like a quiet kid, very musical. Had a few friends, not a big deal, never problems or anything. But a lot of the people, and most of them neighbors of his parents, aren't saying a word. They're keeping quiet on this. They're not giving any special information, which I don't blame them. And there's nothing to give out. What are you going to say? One time he kicked the cat? Oh, well, that makes him a murderer. No. You know? But his neighbors at the apartment have spoken out. And they said in recent weeks, there have been a lot of nice cars there coming with older people from out of state. They've noticed this. Out-of-state license plates on fancy cars with people that were in their 30s, 40s, a little older than him. And they'd stay there, and some of the people would talk to these guys, say, hey, how you doing? And they said, and this is their words, they gave off negative energy. There was something about them they didn't like. They had bad vibes. What does that tell you? Maybe he was being trained to do this. Maybe he was being set up to do this. Maybe he was helping to do this. Maybe he opened the door and let people in. Who knows? We don't know yet. And he's not talking. And I'm tired of all these people posting all the AI videos on Facebook and Twitter. And it's like, look at this. The ring's on the other finger. Oh, look at this. There was already a hole in the bullet. Do you think this guy's going to fake his death in front of his children? Give me a freaking break. And they say, well, it's a false flag. They're trying to distract us from something. No, it was an assassination. They murdered him because they didn't like him, whoever it was. And let me tell you about artificial intelligence. I've talked about this before. Artificial intelligence has been around since the 50s, people. It's about 70 years old. It's just now gotten to the point where they can do the things they do with videos. They could do this a long time ago. but they didn't have the resources to where they could put it out. They didn't have cell phones in the 80s and the 90s where they could put this stuff out. There was no social media. Now there is. So now they can really, really mess with your brain pretty good. And remember this, he who controls the present controls the past. And a lot of the AI stuff you're seeing, like from the past, is all lies. It's not true. And a lot of these videos you're seeing of Charlie Kirk, it's all speculation. It's all lies. It's not true, people. You know, just because you witness something, it doesn't even mean you see it all. There's more to the story than meets the eye, at least nowadays. And that's crazy. And it's also sad. So don't believe all that hype you see on the AI crap on social media. Social media is set to just draw people in. They get you to go to their websites. They get you to click on something and write the word book so you can buy their book from them. They're just trying to make money, people. That's all it is. And they make money with lies. And then you'll read the book, and if it's something you kind of lean towards, you'll believe it. So you believe the lies. That's what they want. That's how they control the masses. Same difference. Now, the main thing about all this is Charlie Kirk is gone. Whether you liked him or not, a man got brutally murdered and didn't deserve it. And he's gone. You have to ask yourself, why? Was it just because he debated on college campuses? Or maybe it's because he was going to these college campuses where the indoctrination of the little mindless puppets out there now is beyond what you ever thought would be easy to do. I mean, brainwashing people has never been easier. Never. And he was going out there and he was debating with people. And there were people that probably went in there with an open mind and left going, you know what? He's right. And he wasn't just about Christianity or anything like that. He was a big, strong, proud Christian. Nothing wrong with that. To each their own. But he was out there and he was making people think. And he was getting people to maybe change their minds on the college campuses. And maybe these guys were like, you know what? He's right. We need to do this. We need to do that. We need to help others more. Maybe he changed their minds. There was, if you go and look at some of these social media posts over the years where people were seeing him and talking afterwards, there was a lot of change going on. And it was positive change. And there was a lot of speculation that Charlie could be president. Charlie could run for Congress. Charlie could do this or that. There was a lot of people out there thinking he could be a president someday, that he had the good willpower and the charisma and the intelligence to do that job. Although with past presidents, a lot of that has been proven wrong. You just need, with a lot of presidents, you just need to know somebody, your daddy or a relative, or be a puppet of somebody, or have some good speaking charisma, even though you have no intelligence. That's been proven a lot. Oh, and shout out to the Latter-day Saints. Kudos to them, because they were the ones that turned him in. They were the ones, it was a religious leader, heard everything about this, heard about him, and they turned him in. Kudos to them. I give them a shout out. Don't know if you've ever been to Utah, but they pretty much are all over the state out there. They're all over America. They're all over the world. But I'm saying as far as Utah goes, that's pretty much their area. Great people, one and all. Kind-hearted, loving, down-to-earth, caring. They actually follow the rules. They actually care about others. I give them so much credit. So kudos to them for turning this rugrat punk in. I'm glad they did. And I hope we find out the truth. It's been a couple days now since he's been arrested. We don't know anything more than when they arrested him. And I think that's horrible. I just think it's awful, everything that's going on, everything happened. I wish people would get along, whether you agree with somebody or not. You don't have to love somebody. You don't have to like and believe what they believe in. It's the easiest thing in the world is to separate people, divide and conquer. I say it all the time. That's the oldest trick in the book. Everybody's done it. They'll do it with sports teams. They'll do it with music. They'll do it with race. They'll do it with color. They do it with religion. Don't let them do it. Don't hate somebody because they're different than you. I know people got tattoos all over their faces and stuff like this. They're good people. That's their trip. All right? I'm not going to judge them by that. They're good people. If you're going to judge somebody, judge them by their actions, not just their words either. Judge them by the actions that they do. Because you got a lot of people who say some good words. You got a lot of people call themselves good Christians out there. They're not. They don't follow the rules. They don't follow the laws. They don't even know what they're talking about. They are very hypocritical. And that's sad. It's that way with a lot of religions. And you'll hate those people. You'll say, well, I don't like this guy because he's not my religion. Well, who cares? Is he a nice guy? Does he do good things? Okay. Who cares what religion he is? Who cares if he's got a Buffalo Bills shirt on or not? And you don't like them. Who cares if he's a Dallas Stars fan or Cowboys fan? Who cares? What matters is the person being a good, genuine person. I hope we get to the bottom of this Charlie Kirk incident. I hope we find out what really happened and why. And I hope whoever did this fries for what they did. Not just on this world, but if there's a hell in the next world, I hope they fry there. Everybody, get along. Stay real. Peace.